It's been a year past after the eruption of Merapi Mountains occurred on 2010. The eruption in that time was more terrifying than in the previous incident on 2006. The biggest eruption happened on October 26, 2010. It happened in the evening when the number of local villagers, including Bahmarijan himself, still refused to be evacuated. Many lives was taken tragically, swept out by 100 cubic of hot thick volcanic clouds, which has 600 degrees of Celsius temperature, 100 km/h velocity, and contains a poisonous gas, which is definitely no living things can survive from it. The hot cloud was also overwhelming the surrounding area within 7-kilometer radius. The eruption itself was also causing the whole area of the Merapi Mountains covered with a thick layer of volcanic dust and sands. The volcanic dust rain was widely spread out through Yogyakarta and central Java. The other impact from this destructive endogen power is a cold volcanic mud flood, which viciously flowed through several rivers in the mountain hill, including Gendel River. In count of minutes, the river was swiftly filled with a cubic of mud and sands. The rain in Merapi Mountain stop was also make the condition getting worse. The flood was getting bigger with a car-sized rocks rolling on it, destroy anything in their way, and finally it's overflowing even through the Chodia River in the middle of Yogyakarta. Soon after the eruption was settled, the government started to relocate the volcanic materials from the river into the other area in purpose to make the river back to its normal condition again. But apparently, the amount of the material itself was never become an easy thing to deal with. In a few months, the government was only being able to relocate a quarter amounts from the whole material. Then again, the only justifiable words to say is, the government's hard words need more hard works. Though we can't even predict when and how the disaster will come to us, we as a human being has been possessed with many untold possible capability to change something terribly bad into useful good things. In this context, we're talking about the usage of volcanic materials such as sand and rocks gravel as a building component. The concrete brick maker, as an example, was more likely to get a lot of benefit from this kind of disaster because they'll be able to pick the ingredients they like freely rather than buying them from other hands with a high-end price. The making of this fundamental building component was applied by the people of Yogyakarta who lives closely to the Chodia River. They just pick some stuff that they need from the river which was already being impacted by the volcanic mudflow. They've considered this kind of material as a solid, strong, and good adhesive ingredients to make a building components. In the other word, we can build a strong house with a cheap price by using good materials provided by the mountain itself. Every cloud has its silver lining. There's always a value that we can take from the stories we get, even the horrifying ones such as disaster. The nature will always provide us with many beneficial resources, even in the urgent time like that. So, we can choose whether to use the power of nature in purpose to help ourselves and preserve our earth, or just to ruin them both. It depends on how we care about our future generation. Our earth, our power.